This video is brought to you by Sun King Discs. Check out sunkingdiscs.com for a full selection of disc golf merchandise and get free shipping on all orders over 12 bucks. Welcome to my review of the Discraft Luna. This is a new prototype putter, Paul Mcbeth Signature Edition. Big thank you to Sun King Discs for sponsoring this review. Go to sunkingdiscs.com to check out the website. Everything on there will ship for free over 12 bucks, and they got a huge selection and all kinds of great plastic. They've been a really great sponsor to work with, and I appreciate their support. Let's get into the review of the Luna. So I never thought I'd see Paul Mcbeth's name on a Discraft disc, but it's 2019 and here we are. I don't know, maybe it's me. I think his new logo looks like it says P1, maybe P7. I understand what they're going for, but I don't know how I feel about it. It's alright, it's not a bad looking logo. I just think if you didn't know, like if you took away this and you just saw that, would you think that's PM or would you think that's P1 or P7? It doesn't really matter. Anyway, so let's take a look at it. Here's some flight numbers. 3402 and then Discraft's flight number. Discraft, just get rid of this flight number. We don't need this flight number. No one cares about your weird flight number. I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude, but it just doesn't matter. Once we have this 4-number system that all the other manufacturers are using, just stick with that. Your little weird 0.0 is utterly meaningless to me and other disc golfers. No disrespect meant. 174 grams. So we got definitely a different feel to this disc. It's in a new blend that is apparently rubber and jawbreaker mixed together. I'm not sure where the rubber is coming in, other than maybe just having this little bit of grip to it. But overall, it's a very stiff, rigid feel. There's no flexibility to it whatsoever. And it almost has like a waxy kind of feel to it. If your hands have a little bit of moisture on them, I think it's quite grippy, but it's very strange. It's very unique in terms of the feel. I don't know how I feel about it. It's not bad. I like it better for throwing than I do for putting. It's a little too stiff for me for putting, and I feel like it does kind of bounce in the chains a little bit more than I would like from my testing. Didn't putt with it a ton, but I've definitely used it a little bit inside the circle, and my buddy's been putting with one, and he had a couple of spit outs. It seems a little bit bouncy because really stiff and kind of slick in the chains maybe. I'm not really sure, but in the hand it's pretty grippy. It has like a waxy feel. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's hard to really explain without feeling it, but yeah, the best I could say is it's almost kind of waxy and a little bit definitely grippy, but not in the kind of traditional sense. Not like a soft magnet where it's like a rubbery grip. Let's put it up next to a regular jawbreaker. So you can see the regular jawbreaker, a lot more flexibility to it, and I think is a more of a rubbery feel. That's why I think it's kind of interesting to say that the jawbreaker mixed with rubber, because this feels more like rubber to me than the Luna. Again, having a kind of a waxy, rigid feel to it doesn't really evoke rubber in my thought process, I guess, when I'm feeling it. I would have never guessed that it has any rubber in it, to be honest. I think it was just a straight type of plastic. But yeah, the regular jawbreaker, much more give under the thumb, much more flexibility, although it's not floppy, but you can see it'll bend and stuff, and I think feels better in the hand. That's my personal preference. Let's take a look at the profile of the Luna. Pretty flat across the top, not much going on there, and it is an extremely rounded profile. It is pretty shallow as well, I would say. You can see just a really nice, smooth, rounded shape to it. Let's try to get out of the shadow. Here we go. Definitely a comfortable design. Whether I like the plastic or not, it definitely feels good in the hand. I really like it. And I'll say right now, I'm not going to bag this disc in this plastic type, especially since this particular one is going to get given away at the end of the video, so stay tuned. But if they release this disc in a premium plastic, like a Big Z or a Z plastic, Z Flex plastic, I would very much consider bagging one for a throwing putter because I like the way it flies and I like the design very much. Let's put it up next to a couple options. You already saw my jawbreaker magnet. Show you the side-by-side on the rim profiles on these. Oh, my light location's kind of giving me some grief here. Hold on a second. There we go, that's a little better. So you can see the magnet, much more old school design. It's got that scooped out edge there with a kind of a micro bead on the edge. The Luna, very rounded and very comfortable, smooth in the hand. I don't have an AVR, unfortunately, to show you guys. I have an old, one of the DGN Wardens from my last run. So you can put it up next to that. And I'd say those are pretty similar to my eye. Not a whole lot different there. Definitely a similar kind of vibe. Warden's a little deeper. But all in all, I like the feel in the hand, and I like the rim design quite a bit. And even though it's kind of more rigid and stiff than I typically like, I think overall I dig the feel. It took me a couple of days of kind of handling them to see what I really thought, because they're very unique. Let's talk about the flight of this thing. It is extremely point and shoot and very neutral as a throwing putter. I find it to just hold the release angle throughout the flight. If you throw it up on hyzer, it will hold a smooth hyzer. If you throw it flat, it will fly flat all the way. And it definitely holds a turnover as well. It's just extremely neutral and very point and shoot. Inside the circle, at least during my last field session with it, had a little bit of a fade out towards the end of the flight when putting, so I had to kind of be a little bit more forceful with it than I'm used to for my putting, because I usually use a pretty broken in Jawbreaker magnet, which is a more understable putter, and it floats dead straight down the line. Sometimes I kind of don't even understand why I bother referencing putting, because it's so different. Are you a spin putter? Are you a pitch putter? Do you have wobble? Do you have a lot of spin and snap on your putt? Everybody has a different style, and the putter will behave completely different based on those styles. But for my putting style, it had a little bit of a fade as it finished out towards the basket. But as a thrower, this thing is as point and shoot as it gets. I feel like any line I want to throw it on, if I release it on that line and I don't overpower it, it will fly on that line from start to finish. That's why if this thing was released in a big Z or Z plastic, or more of a throwing putter premium plastic that I can put in my bag and know it's going to hold those characteristics for a long period of time, I would very much consider putting one of these in the bag, because it's super point and shoot and extremely neutral as a throwing putter. I think it's going to be really effective for that. The problem comes in with this plastic type. I'm not necessarily sure it's going to be terribly durable. This one was used for some field throws, and I also used it for the putting demo. The field throws where you see Andy throwing was a different one. That was same weight and color and everything, just a different stamp. There are definitely some very small dings from hitting the basket on here. You can't really see them because of the textured pattern, I don't think, but it's not much. But I have heard that these will take chunks and stuff if you start whacking trees with them on a full power throw. I would love to see these come out in a premium plastic for throwing, because they really just hold any line. I honestly don't really know what else to say about them, because as you can see in the flight demos, you release them and they fly on that line. It's beautiful. So that's my review on the Paul Mcbeth Luna. Still getting used to associating Paul Mcbeth with Discraft, but hey, I guess that's how it's going to be from now on. Thanks very much for watching. If you would like a chance to win this disc, all you have to do is go down in the description below and look for a Google form. Fill out the information on that Google form. You'll be entered to win this Paul Mcbeth Luna, courtesy of our friends at Sun King. They made sure they sent 2 of them so that I could give one away, and I really appreciate that. So thank them for the chance to win some free plastic. I appreciate their support. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll check you later. Cheers.